All right. Hey, everybody. Joe Hakos here on the Conservative Syndicate. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here today. Hey, this land is your land. This land is my land. Hey, cough, cough. And I do have a cough today, so sorry if I cough. Hey, Democrats are still beside themselves. They can do nothing better than go to the podium and sing a song. Great for them. But they can't show up and do their job at their committee hearings. Yeah, great. Tillerson was sworn in as Secretary of State. devos-nomination for Education Secretary is in trouble, not just by Democrats. Trump urged McConnell to go nuclear, and the Democrats step up their anti-Trump offensive. So this and more on the Conservative Syndicate. Glad you're here. Couldn't do it without you. So stay tuned and let's have some fun, people.
I think the big problem this country has is being politically correct. I've been challenged by so many people, and I don't frankly have time for total political correctness. And to be honest with you, this country doesn't have time either.
Yes, political correctness is out. American exceptionalism is back, ready to re-empower our republic as one nation under God by restoring our unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives, with your host, John Matthews.
It's a latter-day prophet, saying against the hypocrisies of our time.
And Joe Hakos.
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
The Conservative Syndicate is comprised of some of the most informed pundits and activists available today. Together we seek to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state through education, information, and engagement on the religion of politics and the politics of religion. And now, your hosts of the nationally acclaimed, globally syndicated Conservative Syndicate, John Matthews and Joe Hakos.
Well, all right. Yeah, welcome everybody to Conservative Syndicate. Joe Hakos here, flying solo. One more time. Hopefully, I think John is back in the country. So maybe he'll be here tomorrow. We'll find out. We'll see how it goes. But glad to be here with you. We will educate you today. We will maybe engage you. We will try to tear down that imaginary wall between church and state. And yeah, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. I do apologize. I'm getting a bit of a cold, so if I'll try to not cough or sneeze or anything into the microphone today. But as I am running everything on my own, it could happen. I might not make it in time to get to the button. So please forgive me if I do so. All right. So once again, California shows how awesome and how just full of just freedom-loving people they are. I mean, free speech is alive and well in California. If you're a leftist, but if you're a homosexual who feels that there's freedom of speech and does not stand up with the mainstream, air fingers quotes there, mainstream homosexual agenda, well, you're not allowed to talk, especially at the land of where they had the birthplace of the free speech movement there, Berkeley, California. Isn't that awesome? The irony of it all. So we had another rent-a-riot happen. And just wonderful to have the rent-a-riots come in. It just and the press is just so honest. There was a peaceful demonstration just turned into a riot. Really? These people showed up with their stuff ready to riot. What are you talking about? Just the press. We have a First Amendment, but there's a lot of responsibilities to go with that. And I'm just absolutely fed up with the media and how they portray things. It's either a lack of coverage, it's the advocation of different viewpoints instead of just being a journalist, tell us what the news is, to give us the facts, let us make our minds up. And the blatant dishonesty. It's the blatant dishonesty. And we're going to see more of this, people. The Rent a Riot crowd is going to be there. We've seen this now for well over a year. It really stepped up its intensity in the last few months of the 2016 election cycle. But we're going to see it every time. And this wasn't about old Milo there at Berkeley. This was about Donald Trump. And I just watched just a little bit of coverage. I didn't want to pay too much attention to it because I was trying to go somewhere else with the show today. And, you're out there and you got someone that has the Great America hat again on. And obviously it's a Trump supporter. And what's the tolerant left do? Runs up kind of from behind and pepper sprays this individual. And unfortunately, what's going to happen here, and this is what the Rent a Riot leadership wants. They want someone to get shot. They want the violence. They absolutely want the violence. And it's just a matter of time. This keeps on going. I hope and pray that we can get Sessions confirmed as the Attorney General, get the Democrats off their damn butts. I mean, they don't even show up for committee votes. Hatch said, okay, don't show up for a committee vote. He did this yesterday. Don't show up for a committee vote. That's fine. We're going to do it without you. We'll just change the rules and we'll do it without you. You people need to show up. Show up. Act like, it's like this childish BS that you're doing. And you're just dragging your feet. It's just, and then you spent 8 years calling the Republican, I'm sorry, 6 years, because you lost the Congress and after 2 years of rule over the people in the Obama administration. So we'll call it 6 years. You called the Republicans obstructionists. And what the heck do you think you're doing now? Nothing but obstruction. Absolutely. You're not even showing up to do your jobs. You can sit on a committee, ask questions of the nominee, and deal with it. You're not in the majority anymore. And it's for actions like you're doing now is the reason why you're not in the majority anymore. People have had enough. And this BS with Trump's Supreme Court nominee, Neil Gorsuch, unbelievable. What's going on? Didn't even know who it was. They had their prepared speeches out there, prepared statements. We're gonna fight this tooth and nail. Meanwhile, the same people that voted unanimously to put this guy on the Court of Appeals are standing up and going, "I can't stand this guy now. He turned into the devil. He's not part of mainstream." What? No. And it's like, and we just pick somebody. No, you don't get to pick. You don't get to pick, period. Elections have consequences. Yeah. And you don't get to pick. That's not how it's done. You got Elena Kagan up there in the Supreme Court. Yay for you. Republicans didn't get to pick. The other side didn't get to pick who Barack Obama put up for nomination. And would she have 3 people vote against her? Some unbelievable number. I mean, this is just garbage. So much garbage from the Democrat Party. It's just unbelievable. You wonder why. No, they don't care why. That's the problem. Is they no longer care. And Trump's right. They want to drag their feet. They want to do this. Go for it. Go, Mitch. Go, nuclear. Yeah, go for it. And they're going, it's a stolen pick. It's stolen. It's stolen. Well, you know what? It's not stolen. You know why? Because no president prior to that would have even nominated someone for the Supreme Court during his last year of office. The people spoke. Hillary Clinton won, you would have got your pick. Hillary Clinton didn't win. Thank God she didn't win. But she didn't win, and the people picked Trump. And one of the major reasons they voted for Trump was exactly this pick. This scenario. The nominee to the Supreme Court. It was both mine and John's reason for voting. Number one reason. And it was over 60-some, if you want to believe polls again, and they're full of crap anyway. But there were quite a few people out there that was the reason why they voted for Trump, because they knew the Supreme Court was in balance. That was going to happen. That was going to be the number one reason. So, I'm going to have fun with this today. I'll try to maintain some decorum, and I'll try to not lose my voice and cough too much on the air today. So, forgive me if I do. This is Joe Hakos here on the Conservative Syndicate. We have to go ahead, and we do have to pay the bills, people. We have to pay some bills. So I'm going to pay some bills, and we'll be right back after I get done doing this. So stick around with us. Stay with us. We'll have some good stuff for you.
We're not arguing. We're explaining why we're right. The Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-790-5960. That's 1-800-790-5960. Again, 1-800-790-5960. Call now.
Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification require cancellation fee, auto pay, and paperless billing, and other restrictions apply. If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Only Dish brings you the best in entertainment for less than $20 a month. Cut the cable and don't get directed. Switch to Dish because at just $19.99, Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. It's so simple. The same channels cost less with Dish. So since you can't see the difference, don't pay the difference. Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Get premium movie channels free for 3 months, starting at just $19.99. Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. Call now to save with Dish. Dial 1-800-600-1645. That's 1-800-600-1645. The same channels for less than $20 a month. Dish. Call 1-800-600-1645 for details.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Attention taxpayers! If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 866-761-0959. 1-866-761-0959. When you call, you get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately. Call this special tax hotline today for free info at 1-866-761-0959. That's 1-866-761-0959. 1-866-761-0959.
And now back to the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives.
Yeah, hey, I'm still here. I'm still here. Joe Hakos here at the Conservative Syndicate. Glad you're with us. Just one arm paper hanger here. Doing it all, pushing buttons left and right. It's crazy. Got it taken care of. Settle down. Hey, everybody, glad you're here. Hey, I would say, so the Democrats still want to go ahead and, as we were saying before, still want to go ahead and just drag their feet and block anything going on with the Republicans. Anything. And we can expect that. That's to be expected. That's, that goes without being said. We know how that's going to happen. Those guys, who they are. The Chuck Schumers of the world. He's a rat. Oh, yeah. Hey, everybody. Happy Groundhog Day. Happy Groundhog Day. Since it's Groundhog Day, it is February 2nd. Groundhog Day. Yay for the groundhog. Now, shoot him, stew him up, and let's have some meal. He gets it right 30-some% of the time. Yay for the groundhog. What did he say? It's going to be winter longer. Ooh. And I think he's only gone for spring like 16% of the time in 100-some years that these people actually, it's a good reason to have a party, though. You need something in the wintertime to get together and have a party. So why not that? But I digress. Woo. Okay, so anyhow. So back to Congress. Specifically the Senate. And our friends on the Democrat side. When they don't bother to show up for the committee hearings, and the rules say we can't do a vote without any member of the opposition party being there, it's like, oh, really? And Gorsuch, they're going to go ahead and do their stuff for him. And I'll probably have more to say about this probably on the next show. This nuclear option. Let's just go a little bit of history about that. And we'll talk about it further. But, the Democrat Party, the Democrats, to be expected. What's really horrible is, and it's the one thing you can admire about the Democrat Party is they stick together. Thick and thin. They could have, baby killers and animal rapers out there in a public square, and they'll stick together. They will stick together. The grand old party, the GOP, the Republicans, though, not so much. The devos-nomination for Secretary of Education in the education part, it's to the point now that Normally you want to use the 60 votes to get the nominee through, but you can, since it's not a Supreme Court nomination, they can use just simple majority. But it'd be nice to go ahead and have a little wiggle room there. Well, it's like 52 to 48 in the Senate. And for those that don't realize, the Senate has 100 sitting senators with the Vice President of the United States as the tiebreaker for it all. Okay? One of those questions maybe on a citizenship test. But anyway, I got an article here by Bill McMorris from yesterday, as a matter of fact, from the Washington Free Beacon. And this was done, late yesterday afternoon. GOP defectors have received thousands from teachers' union. No, say it's not so, Bill. Two Republicans who broke ranks with their party had announced they would vote against Education Secretary nominee Betsy DeVos have received thousands of dollars from the nation's largest teachers' union. Wow, who would have thought that? That's just crazy talk, right? Senators Lisa Murkowski, a Republican, quote unquote, from Alaska, and Susan Collins, a Republican from Maine, who, along with their friend from Louisiana, just a little side note here, put out an alternative plan to Obamacare, which included Obamacare. So we can see where she's coming from. Murkowski and Collins have each benefited from contributors from the National Education Association. Collins received $2,000 from the union in 2002 and 2008. According to the Center of Responsive Politics, Murkowski, meanwhile, has received $23,500. The NEA, National Education Association, represents 3 million members, making it the wealthiest and most influential union in the country. The NEA, along with other labor groups like the American Federation of Teachers, has waged a fierce campaign against DeVos, a billionaire philanthropist and school choice advocate and activist. Teachers' unions donate almost exclusively to Democrats. Well, duh, as do most other unions. The NEA contributed $2.3 million to Democrat candidates in 2016. It's written Democratic, but no, it's Democrat. In 2016, while Republican nominees received a whopping $350,000, according to the Center of Responsive Politics. The top beneficiaries of the union largesse have already voted against DeVos' nomination at the committee level. The union donated $740,000 to the 11 Democrat members of that committee. All 11 attempted to prevent the nomination from reaching the Senate floor. Not unexpected. Not unexpected whatsoever. Murkowski received a 100% rating on a 2012 NEA report card, while Collins received a 75% rating. The only Republicans to earn marks above 50% from the group. Each senator has earned straight A marks from the union since 2014. Yay. Oh, sorry. Murkowski has long been a favorite of teachers' unions. She was one of only 4 Republican senators to receive contributions from the NEA in 2016. Hauling in $10,000, while the other 3 Republicans received only $3,200. She received the NEA's endorsement in 2010 when she won as an independent candidate after losing the GOP primary. Remember that? She lost in the GOP, decided to run as an independent. And the people of Alaska put her in. Well, that's what happens when you split the vote. Anyhow, and received it. She received the NEA's endorsement in 2010, and she received it again in 2016. From the NEA's Alaska President Tim Parker, Lisa Murkowski understands public education and is committed to Alaska students. Her leadership and advocacy were critical to passing the Every Student Succeeds Act, which put Alaskans back in control of Alaska's public schools. Alaska's educators and Senator Murkowski share a passion for increased student learning and ensuring that every child has the opportunity for success, regardless of their zip code. Murkowski, a member of the Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions, voted Tuesday to bring DeVos to the Senate floor for a vote. Her vote was critical in the 12-1 party line vote. However, she said Wednesday she plans to join Collins and Democrats in opposing the nomination. It makes you wonder, why did you do that? Lisa? Senator Lisa? The two Republican defections imperil DeVos' nomination. Republicans have a 52 to 48 majority, as I told you earlier in the show, in the Senate. So one vote more, or no vote or abstention could sink her candidacy to lead the Department of Education. Republicans need to recruit a Democrat vote to give DeVos the 51 votes needed for confirmation, though Vice President Pence could cast the decide-in vote in the event of a 50-50 tie. How wonderful. So once again, Republicans just can't seem to hold it together, and this is the reason why nothing happened during the Obama years, and they're having nothing but idiocy going on right now in the first couple weeks of the Donald Trump presidency. And again, this was a report. This was a report from the Free Beacon, Bill McMorris. All right, want to give him credit for it. They're afraid. The teachers' union's obviously afraid. This is part of the bureaucracy that needs to, quite frankly, disappear. The Department of Education. Quite frankly, it needs to go away. We should be able to get rid of that department, thus saving some money, maybe getting us back to some important stuff, like, I don't know, our $20 trillion deficit, maybe helping some veterans that are killing themselves at the rate of 20-some every day. But no, we're worried about not showing up for meetings, dragging our feet about stuff, because we don't really want to lead. We really don't want to legislate. We were happiest when Barack Obama would just sign an executive order and leave us the hell out of the mess. That's what we were happy. We had a majority, and the only thing we ever do as a majority, as a Democrat, is we gave you Obamacare. 60 billion pages of nothing but mess. We have to read it before we know what's in it. A tax that birthed itself out of the Senate instead of the House, as the rules of our Constitution say it should happen. And the whole damn thing's unconstitutional. And now we have Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins from the Republicans siding with Democrats. Get on the phone. Start letting your senator know how you feel, even if he is a Democrat. Okay, it's the bottom of the hour. I'm going to try to maintain. Again, Joe Hakos here in the Conservative Syndicate. We have to pay some bills. We'll be back after we pay the bills. Thanks for sticking with us, folks.
State Talk Radio, WRS Cleveland.
Hey, I'll make you a deal. Give me 60 seconds and I'll give you directions to the Fountain of Youth. Okay, I'm joking. Well, kind of joking. No fountains, but youth, I got Nature's Youth and their premier anti-aging product, Nature's Youth RSF. With your sensible diet and exercise plan, Nature's Youth RSF can help you look and feel better. RSF is an all-natural amino acid supplement that supports your body to naturally increase HGH levels without any synthetic hormones. And elevated HGH levels can contribute to increased energy, improved libido, reduced body fat, and improved exercise capacity. Let's be honest, who doesn't want to look and feel younger? Visit the newly designed website at naturesyouth.com or call 800-333-6923. That's 800-333-6923 and like them on Facebook and you'll be included in contest and exclusive offers. What a deal. Oh, speaking of deals, my time's about up. 800-333-6923 or naturesyouth.com. Who needs a fountain anyway? Call today.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
When I had a heart attack at 42, I was not sure what the future held. But a year later, the doctors could find nothing wrong with me and took me off all my medication. What did I do? I took a herbal mixture of garlic, cayenne, and a few other herbs mixed in liquid form. I now call this Extendovite. I would have never believed that a few simple herbs could actually change my life like they did. Now it's your turn to see what the powers of garlic and cayenne can do for you. For only $69.95 plus shipping and handling for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid, you too can begin on your path to better health. For more information, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call. But I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free. Just for calling 877-663-3830. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-663-3830. That's 877-663-3830.
Hey, I don't back anybody unless I believe in them. And I do believe in the value of investing in gold and silver. And the company I trust to buy my gold and silver from is Swiss America. I've been working with them for nearly a decade. I trust them, and you can too. Swiss America will help you sort through and find the best options available when you're considering investing in gold and silver coins. Listen, for over 30 years, Swiss America has been offering Americans what they want in their investments: safety, liquidity, quality, reliability, and a potential profit. Gold and silver have a place in every investor's portfolio. So, why not let Swiss America help you diversify your investment portfolio now? Call now for free information. 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-380-2906. That's 800-380-2906. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-380-2906.
I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to.
Am I not speaking English?
The Conservative Syndicate.net, where we speak only one language, American.
Yeah, that's right, American. Joe Hakos here, and I am an American first before it comes to anything else. So just understand that. Patriotic American at that. So that ought to make some people's heads blow up. They'll have to get over it, though. Hey, so, so talking about the Collins and Murkowskis of the world as they decide to jump ship and, I don't know if they're trying to out John McCain, and his shadow, Lindsey Graham. I don't know what the hell they're trying to do. They certainly are beholden to their benefactors, that being the NEA and the other teachers' unions. So, yeah, I guess you're keeping your word for that. Congratulations. You are part of the swamp. You are part of the swamp. And so, I'll have to look up and see when they're up for re-election. Unfortunately, I think Murkowski is in there for another 6 years. But there are elections coming up, people, for senators. Some of these senators are also in, and this can be quite helpful. Some of these Democrat senators are sitting in states that President Trump won, and some of them quite handily he won. So it's kind of like, I think the people of your state showed us something. You might want to rethink your blind faith, trust in the Democrat Party leadership that's been so outstanding and such a boon for Republicanism and the Republican Party the last 8 years. Loving it. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Hey, talk about church and state. Let's talk a little bit about church and state. President Donald Trump went to the National Prayer Breakfast today. He went there today. And some of his remarks were, to the Democrats and the leftists and those that really don't want anything to change. They loved what Barack Obama was doing to this nation, what the Harry Reids of the world were doing, what Chuck Schumer wants to do, what Nancy Pelosi wants to do. And I'm sure you didn't hear any of them come out and voice any kind of displeasure at what went off at Berkeley last night. Sure, if they have, they certainly haven't expressed it, or at least it's not been reported. Again, the dishonest media. And so, Donald Trump was at the breakfast, and he was talking religious freedom. One of the things that those conservatives amongst us were kind of nervous about, we weren't really sure, because Donald Trump is not an overtly religious kind of guy. Although, give him credit, he invoked God in his inauguration speech. He's invoked God in a lot of his announcements on his executive orders. So he's doing way more than Barack Hussein Obama did. And I'll give him credit for that. And let me play a clip from President Trump at the National Prayer Breakfast today, talking about the battle going on, not just here in this country, but throughout the world, when it comes to religious freedoms. So here's President Trump at the National Prayer Breakfast this morning.
We have seen peace-loving Muslims brutalized, victimized, murdered, and oppressed by ISIS killers. We have seen threats of extermination against the Jewish people. We have seen a campaign of ISIS and genocide against Christians where they cut off heads. Not since the Middle Ages have we seen that. We haven't seen that, the cutting off of heads. Now they cut off the heads. They drown people in steel cages. Haven't seen this. Nobody's seen this for many, many years. All nations have a moral obligation to speak out against such violence. All nations have a duty to work together to confront it, and to confront it viciously if we have to. So I want to express clearly today to the American people that my administration will do everything in its power to defend and protect religious liberty in our land. America must forever remain a tolerant society where all faiths are respected and where all of our citizens can feel safe and secure. In recent days, we have begun to take necessary action to achieve that goal. Our nation has the most generous immigration system in the world. But these are those, and there are those, that would exploit that generosity to undermine the values that we hold so dear. We need security. There are those who would seek to enter our country for the purpose of spreading violence or oppressing other people based upon their faith or their lifestyle. Not right. We will not allow a beachhead of intolerance to spread in our nation.
And so, sorry about that. And so, President Trump included the three major religions of the world: Muslims, Jews, and Christians. And mentioned the biggest threat to them all, radical Islamic terrorists, and how they're on their genocidal mission to rid us of Muslims that don't think like that, Islamists that don't think like them, Christians, obviously, that don't think like, and Jews. And President Trump said, well, they threaten the Jews. Well, the Jews have been under threat for decades now. Hell, for hundreds of years. And what do we have? We have the regime in Iran doing nuclear tests against UN resolutions, mind you. And what did President Trump do with that? And what did he do with that? I think I have this clip. And yeah, I have a clip. This is National Security Advisor, Former General Michael Flynn. And he delivered a statement directly to the Iranian regime there. And let me go ahead and play that, because it's very interesting how this works out.
Ballistic missile launch and an attack against a Saudi naval vessel conducted by Iran-supported Houthi militants underscore what should have been clear to the international community all along about Iran's destabilizing behavior across the entire Middle East. The recent ballistic missile launch is also in defiance of UN Security Council Resolution 2231, which calls upon Iran not to undertake any activity related to ballistic missiles designed to be capable of delivering nuclear weapons, including launches using such ballistic missile technology. These are just the latest of a series of incidents in the past 6 months in which Houthi forces that Iran has trained and armed have struck Emirati and Saudi vessels and threatened United States and allied vessels transiting the Red Sea. In these and other similar activities, Iran continues to threaten U.S. friends and allies in the region. The Obama administration failed to respond adequately to Tehran's malign actions, including weapons transfers, support for terrorism, and other violations of international norms. The Trump administration condemns such actions by Iran that undermine security, prosperity, and stability throughout and beyond the Middle East, and which places American lives at risk. President Trump has severely criticized the various agreements reached between Iran and the Obama administration, as well as the United Nations, as being weak and ineffective. Instead of being thankful to the United States in these agreements, Iran is now feeling emboldened. As of today, we are officially putting Iran on notice. Thank you.
Michael Flynn, Trump administration National Security Advisor. As of today, we're putting Iran on notice. And then what did I see on the Talking Heads media? Well, what does that mean? How come you didn't explain it more? What does that mean? Come on. We got to know. Let's see. The Obama administration failed to respond adequately to Iran's malign actions, including weapons transfer, support for terrorism, and other violations of international norms. Sounds like they were emboldened. I think that's the word they used, actually. Yes, emboldened. The Trump administration condemns such acts by Iran that undermine, easy for me to say, undermine security, prosperity, and stability throughout and beyond the Middle East. Hear that, Europe? Hear that, United States Senate? Hear that, I don't know, the idiot Sarah Silvermans of the world? Hear it? And beyond the Middle East, which place American lives at risk. President Trump has severely criticized the various agreements reached between Iran and the Obama administration, as well as the United Nations, as being weak and ineffective. Why, you think so? You think so? I don't know. Suicide bombers, suicide attack, killed 2 Saudi sailors and 3 others were wounded when an Iranian suicide bomber attacked a Saudi frigate off the coast of Yemen, one of those nations that's on the immigration freeze from President Trump's orders. So what happens here? Instead of being thankful to the United States in these agreements, Iran is now feeling emboldened. Today, we are officially putting Iran on notice. And we'll talk a little more about that. But we do have to pay some bills. Short break here. Got to do this. Got to make this happen for us. So let me get it set up. Got to make this happen. Yep, that one there. And then we'll do that one. And then we can get going and pay some bills here. All right. So I do appreciate you sticking around. Joe Hakos here in the Conservative Syndicate. We're having fun here talking about news, basically. We're going to tell you the truth. All right? So stick with us. We'll be right back after these short messages.
History affirms a vibrant civil society thrives on freedom of conscience, religion, and choice. Any society absent these qualities stifles individual responsibility and accountability, thus enslaving its people by denying them their potential for goodness, creativity, and altruism. To that extent, oppression, coercion, and totalitarianism are multiplied exponentially. To counter such outcomes, the American Freedom Alliance was formed. The AFA is a nonpartisan, non-aligned movement which promotes, defends, and upholds Western values and ideals. The Alliance strives to build an international coalition of citizens of the West who together promote and protect moral values, democracy, and freedom. To find out more and become part of this valuable asset in the preservation of freedom and all its rewards, contact us at AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. That's AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. Let freedom ring.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
And now back to the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives.
Yeah, welcome back, folks. Joe Hakos here on the Conservative Syndicate. Hey, please visit our website, theconservativesyndicate.net, where you can get all our archives and hear everything about our panel members and what we're doing out here, what our affiliates and all that fun stuff there. So go check us out. You can even go to iTunes and find us on iTunes. We're having fun out there on iTunes. That way you can listen to us on all kind of different platforms. Yeah. So you can get excited and say, hey, listen to this. Listen to this. Yeah, take it out and share it with your friends and your enemies and such. Because, hey, spread the joy, spread the wealth. Yeah, spread it all. Yeah. So anyway, back to Donald Trump and his fight for religious freedom. And, we just talked about the Michael Flynn, his National Security Advisor, former General Michael Flynn. So these guys obviously understand the threat, okay? There's not some uninformed bureaucrat. He understands this threat. He's been in the fight. And notice that he said they're put on notice. And immediately, what did those in the dishonest media do? Freak out. What do you mean? That's all cryptic. It's very cryptic. What exactly does he mean? Haven't you figured anything out? Did you watch any of the debates during election season? There's no reason to put all your cards out on the table so everybody can plan against it. What did the Obama administration do? Hey, we're going to go ahead and these are the days we're leaving Afghanistan. We will be leaving Afghanistan on this date. So, congratulations to all those that oppose America's interest in Afghanistan. You can hold off. Hold your water until this date when we're supposed to leave. And they did the same thing in Iraq. And it's like, are you kidding me? Why do you think that was necessary? Really? You don't do such things. You don't give your enemies, and these are our enemies, you don't give them everything. You give them bits and pieces, and you give them the absolute bottom line message is, we're not taking this crap. And what did President Trump do today? I heard, and I haven't read it, so I can't really delve into it, but they're going to place some more sanctions, economic sanctions, on the Iranians. You know, the very sanctions that were absolutely within a gnat's whisker of working to bring the Iranians to the table so they could act within international norms. That regime was going to collapse. But what did Barack Hussein Obama do? He lifted them all. Then he gives plane loads upon plane loads of foreign cash. Cash, mind you. Cash to be used to promote terrorism throughout the world. But hey, Barack Obama's the smartest guy on the face of the earth, right? Meanwhile, he goes to California and incites violence. Shouldn't be surprising since he did it in Ferguson, he did it in Baltimore. Man has no class. None. As I said with the Supreme Court nominee, no president for 80-some years would ever, and that's the reason why, and this is after FDR tried to pack the courts, mind you, no president would have even bothered to place a person in nomination. Garland would not have been there. This ain't Garland's seat. Never was. But the narcissistic, it's my way, Barack Obama administration, we have to do this. We must do this. This is us. No. Sorry. Sorry, Barack. That's not how you do things. No way. No how. Sorry. But, again, we have to put up with the Barack Obama administration. The leftovers. Made things difficult. Yes, he did. Thank you so much, Barack Hussein Obama. So now the Iranians are on notice. Sanctions were just the beginning, folks. There will be more. But unfortunately, just like the North Koreans and Bill Clinton and the Chinese, they're just way too close to fulfilling their lifelong, just crazy maniacal dreams, megalomaniacal dreams of ridding us of that Jewish state called Israel and its bigger brother, the United States of America. They're not our friends. Don't ever think they were. All right. Hey, we're coming to the top of the hour, and we're going to have to go ahead and pay some bills. We've got the Edwards notebook to play, and so we're going to get on that. So Joe Hakos here at the top of the hour, here on the Conservative Syndicate. We got to do the top of our stuff, and when we come back, we'll be talking some more national prayer breakfast stuff and maybe some dishonest media things. We'll see how it all works out for us. So let's get on to it. Thanks for sticking around. We'll be right back.
Could California soon be a separate nation? Hello, I'm Ron Edwards. On today's page from the Edwards Notebook, if you've ever wondered what ultra-leftist Eric Holder has been up to lately, well, he's been hanging out in California, where he's been working with the Cal Exit team. which has been putting together plans to withdraw California from the Union within the next 2 years, along with such progressive luminaries as Governor Jerry Moonbeam Brown. Also, according to Paul Preston of Agenda 21, that at the end of their terms, Loretta Lynch and FBI Director James Comey are relocating to California to be a part of the Cal Exit movement. In addition, exiting CIA Director Brennan is also relocating to California to join the Cal Exit team.
Which way did he go, George? Which way did he go?
Many people were wondering the underlying reason former President Obama decided to vacation in Palm Springs, California. According to reliable sources, Obama is also part of the effort to remove California from the Union. This is one of the many headaches Obama and friends are trying to create for new President Donald Trump, who campaigned on making America great again. The effort to remove California from the Union will ultimately fail because it is still not yet over for this great republic that will soon again be the land of the free and home of the brave. I'm Ron Edwards.
Blowing away the myths and revealing the truth. You can continue to blow away the myths with Ron Edwards on Facebook, Twitter, and theronedwards.com.
Since its founding, America has always been admired and envied throughout the world for its system of government, one that empowers its citizens to seek their right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. No other country or nation in history has benefited from its diversity simply due to the opportunities available to anyone from anywhere. But there have been and are those who envy our freedom for a very different reason. And today we find ourselves as never before being threatened by this formidable foe intent on our destruction. For this reason, Act for America exists. Act for America is the nation's largest nonprofit, nonpartisan, grassroots national security organization with over 300,000 members and 1,000 chapters focused on educating, engaging, and mobilizing citizens and elected officials to impact legislative outcomes to protect America against terrorism both here and abroad. As a result, our network has driven the education process toward the successful passage of 43 bills in 22 states. We continue to expand our nationwide volunteer chapter network, training citizens to recognize and help prevent criminal activity and terrorism in the United States while preserving the civil liberties protected by the United States Constitution. To find out more, check us out at actforamerica.org. That's actforamerica.org.
I think the big problem this country has is being politically correct. I've been challenged by so many people, and I don't frankly have time for total political correctness. And to be honest with you, this country doesn't have time either.
Yes, political correctness is out. American exceptionalism is back, ready to re-empower our republic as one nation under God by restoring our unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives, with your host, John Matthews.
The latter-day prophet, weighing against the hypocrisies of our time.
And Joe Hakos.
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
The Conservative Syndicate is comprised of some of the most informed pundits and activists available today. Together we seek to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state through education, information, and engagement on the religion of politics and the politics of religion. And now, your hosts of the nationally acclaimed, globally syndicated Conservative Syndicate, John Matthews and Joe Hakos.
Hey, welcome back. Hour number 2 on the Groundhog Day version of the Conservative Syndicate. Welcome back, folks. Joe Hakos here, flying solo. I expect to have the Mad Prophet hopefully back tomorrow. If not tomorrow, it'll be next week. But expect to have him back. Oh, hey, you know what? That, our nation has a new Secretary of State. Rex Tillerson spoke at the Department of State today, and got a piece of advice for Rex. Don't have a private email server sitting in your bathroom, Rex. Use the State Department .gov email account. Don't be silly. Don't be stupid. If Hillary calls you up and tries to give you some advice, don't take it, okay? It's not going to turn out well. I don't think he will, though. But congratulations to him. I'm glad we finally have somebody in there. And the consternation and concern about Rex's apparent relationship with Putin and the Russians might actually, they were like, oh, well, there's a conflict there, a conflict of interest. Oh, these people don't care about that. Let's look at Hillary Clinton and her Rosatom Uranium 1 deal, for crying out loud. And she was commander-in-chief. Oh, my goodness. She gave Putin 20% of the U.S. uranium assets on a silver platter. Oh, and she got millions of dollars for it, going into the now, quote-unquote, defunct Clinton Global Initiative that's now being rebranded into something else. Probably something, I don't know, like the Clinton Ice Cream Fund or something. It'll be something that'll just seem innocuous and no one will ever know what's going on there. And don't look over there. The Clintons are, the Clintons have bought a whole chain of islands somewhere now. No one knows idiots will buy something in the Arctic, though. Because of climate change. It's going to get warm. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Anyways, and California's trying to leave the union. Go figure. See ya. You'll be collapsing soon. Go ahead and leave. Your whole economy will collapse very quickly. Because you think those people that live out there, the Ashton Kutchers of the world and the other idiots at the Screen Actors Guild that were out there spotting off their BS, do you think they're going to continue to live there where they can be taxed to death? They already have fake dummy corporations all over the nation and outside this nation, so they don't have to pay that stuff. You think they're paying their fair share of taxes? You're out of your mind. These people are such hypocrites, it's unbelievable. Anyways, so we were discussing the Iranians and Donald Trump, because he mentioned this in his national prayer breakfast, some of the things he was doing to take care of religious freedom and try to stop ISIS and Islamic terrorism. And again, I'll keep playing it because it is that important. When you're wondering what he means from his inauguration speech, once again, here we go.
We will reinforce old alliances and form new ones and unite the civilized world against radical Islamic terrorism, which we will eradicate completely from the face of the earth.
Okay, again, eradicate. Not diminish capabilities, eradicate. Maybe we should look up the word, eradicate. So the Iranians are on notice. Probably has some sanctions placed on them tomorrow in response to the missile test that they did the other day, and also in response to the suicide attack on the Saudi frigate in the Red Sea. They're emboldened. They're just like little kids, just testing people just to see how far they can go. Only instead of, little kids just do it to see if they can get ice cream or something. These guys are playing with people's lives and endangering people's lives in the Middle East and beyond. One other thing that, I don't think we can get to that right yet, but President Trump also talked about religious freedom and the Johnson Amendment. And I'm going to get to that here. We're going to take a short break. I'm going to get to that. We'll take the break. I'll come on back, and we'll talk about Donald Trump's Johnson Amendment and just exactly what that is. Some people might, what are you talking about? So we'll get to that as we come on back. So stick with us, folks. Joe Hakos here on the Conservative Syndicate. Had to take a break. We'll be back after the break. Please stick with us. We'll come right back.
You can catch all our archives at theconservativesyndicate.net. The Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives.
Prices are for base buildings only. May not be available in some areas. Attention business owners, do you want a stimulus package that really works? Before you spend thousands of dollars more than you should on your next building project, listen to this. General Steel has a stimulus package designed to help you save as much as half the cost of conventional construction on your next building. As much as half. That's right, General Steel can save you thousands of dollars with a pre-engineered steel building designed for your business or church. How about a 50 by 100 foot building for under $30,000? So don't pay thousands more than you should without calling General Steel first and save as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction. With the projected demand for steel in Japan and China, prices may be skyrocketing.
877-927-3360. 877-927-3360. 877-927-3360. Term life insurance. It can be a powerful way to protect your assets and your family. You work hard to earn and save your money to build a nest egg for the future. Don't let it get wiped out because you didn't plan ahead. Take the time now and make a small investment in $500,000 or more in quality term life insurance. Call the Term Lifeline and let us shop the best companies to give you the lowest rates. We specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. Ask about some of our 10 and 20-year fixed rate plans with guaranteed rates. Call the Term Lifeline right now for your free insurance quote. 800-870-3609. 800-870-3609. You owe it to yourself to protect your family and your assets. Make term life insurance part of that plan. Call the Term Lifeline right now. 800-870-3609. 800-870-3609.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to.
Am I not speaking English?
TheConservativeSyndicate.net, where we speak only one language, American.
Yeah, hey, welcome back, folks. Joe Hakos here on the Conservative Syndicate. You can get us at the conservativesyndicate.net. Check us out there. Get our download, check out the podcasts and our latest archives, and check out our affiliates. There's a lot of good shows there. Educate yourself. That's what we're all about. We want you to educate yourself. Okay, so Donald Trump, President Donald J. Trump at the National Prayer Breakfast. I can remember the first time I even concerned myself about the National Prayer Breakfast was when Ben Carson flayed open Barack Obama, with Obama sitting right next to him as Carson talked to him. And if you recall, that's what brought Mr. Carson to national prominence. On a large scale. He was already a very prominent surgeon, by the way, so the guy is quite accomplished and should be confirmed quickly. But that's not going to happen because, well, those Democrats and their party just refuse to do what's right by the people. The people have spoken. Some Republicans and all the Democrats refuse to listen. So, day 14 of the Donald J. Trump administration. President Trump goes to the prayer breakfast and again reiterates some of the things he was saying on the stump while he was out campaigning to be elected. One of them being to get rid of the Johnson Amendment. And so let me go ahead and let's talk a little bit about the Johnson Amendment. First, let's listen to President Trump at the National Prayer Breakfast this morning.
Among those freedoms is the right to worship according to our own beliefs. That is why I will get rid of and totally destroy the Johnson Amendment and allow our representatives of faith to speak freely and without fear of retribution. I will do that, remember. Freedom of religion is a sacred right, but it is also a right under threat all around us, and the world is under serious threat in so many different ways, and I've never seen it so much and so openly as since I took the position of president. The world is in trouble, but we're going to straighten it out, okay? That's what I do. I fix things. We're going to straighten it out. Believe me.
I don't know why we should doubt the guy right now. I mean, he is doing his... Now, when he doesn't do something, we're going to call him out on it, trust me. But he's walking the walk. He's doing what he said he was going to do. He says he's going to do it. He's trying to do it. He's trying to do it. Now, whether he can get it done, he has 435 people in Washington, D.C., and bureaucrats out the wazoo that are going to try to stop him. But he's going to try. I'll give him credit. So the Johnson Amendment. Just exactly what is the Johnson Amendment? The Johnson Amendment and then candidate Trump got it wrong. He said it was done in the 1970s. I'm sorry, President Trump. Lyndon Baines Johnson, LBJ, introduced in the Senate this amendment to the tax code in 1954. Okay, so obviously it was long before he became president. And what it does, it bans all tax-exempt nonprofits, which includes churches and other houses of worship, as well as charities. Here you go. From directly or indirectly participating in any political candidate's campaign. So, why is that important? Well, remember that separation of church and state routine? That's an imaginary wall because it's not there. Freedom from the establishment of a religion sanctioned by the government. Yeah, not from all religion. Not from all religion. Let's understand. Oh, let's understand a little bit too. This amendment, okay? Again, LBJ in 1954. He was a senator from Texas. He was running for re-election. And LBJ is such a great man. So he goes to his buddies as he is running for re-election for senator in Texas. Just so happens that the Senate was working on new budgetary procedures and the tax code. And so what's LBJ do? He puts forth this amendment. Why? Well, his opponent was out there getting support from non-profit tax-exempt groups. So LBJ wanted to put the kibosh on it. Hey, if you can't win fair, squash them with frickin' regulations and make it an uneven playing surface. That way, hey, I'll get to be reelected, and I'll be the man. Now, President Trump has said this over and over again, repeatedly on the campaign trail. He wanted to go ahead and get rid of this Johnson Amendment. Why? Well, we've already known, and we've said it before, and we've tried to, and I know John has tried it many, many times, trying to get pastors and churches in his area to get off the stick and actually, especially with the Obama administration talking openly, you must do these things. You must be part of this agenda, the social experimentation agenda, the homosexual community doing their thing, making religious organizations do things they don't want to do. They're against their religion, their faith, i.e., the Little Sisters of the Poor come to mind when, hey, you must give out contraception and this and that. And they're like, we're against that. Well, it doesn't matter. Obamacare says you will do this. Those kind of things. And you were not allowed to disagree with it from the pulpit. Didn't stop some folks. And I'm going to go from Washington Post here. From Julie Zaumer. I'll probably butcher her name. Sorry, Julie. She writes, this was Trump's first time in bringing up a subject as president. But it was a vow he made several times before. Speaking to groups, hundreds of conservative Christian faith leaders met with him in June. Trump made his opposition to the Johnson Amendment a key point of his well-received speech. I think maybe it's the greatest contribution to Christianity and other religions is allow you, when you talk religious liberty, to go and speak openly. If you like somebody or want somebody to represent you, you should have the right to do it, he said. You do not have any religious freedom when you think about it. And he's right. That doesn't stop some, though, okay? And I'll get to that. He included it as an acceptance speech when he won the nomination from the Republican, as a Republican, and even thanked the evangelical Christians. They have so much contributed to our politics, yet our laws prevent you from speaking your minds from your own pulpits. An amendment pushed by Lyndon Johnson many years ago threatens religious institutions with the loss of their tax-exempt status if they openly advocate their political views. So, as we said before, the Johnson Amendment is part of the tax code. So, to remove it would take an act of Congress. Who controls Congress now? Those that are in the same party as President Trump. Oh, excuse me. But then President Trump can direct the IRS not to enforce that portion of law. Yes, technically, Herzog is David Herzog, a Valparaiso University law professor who is referenced earlier in this article from the Washington Post. Herzog says, yes, technically, the only way to get rid of the Johnson Amendment is to have Congress repeal that portion of 501c3. It does not mean the executive branch doesn't have tremendous power and the ability to decide whether or not they're going to enforce the Johnson Amendment. The scenario would describe how Barack Obama would do it, which would be immediately overturned upon the next president coming into office in the executive branch, and he would just wipe it out with his signature on a piece of paper, just as President Trump has been doing with a lot of Barack Obama's executive orders. But who wants to get this done? Who wants it gone? Until Trump's campaign, the Johnson Amendment really came up in political discussion. Some pastors, including those 2,000 who publicly opposed the policy on the pulpit Freedom Sunday, objected to the ban. But it wasn't high on most Christian policy wish lists because we had better things to do. Here's one of them things. Yes, we'd like to do this. But the left, on mind you, doesn't mind, and I'll get to that. Lifeway, a Christian polling firm, found that in 2015 that 75% of Americans thought clergy should not endorse candidates even during worship service. Evangelicals were more likely to say pastors should not be able to do so, 25% compared to 16%. But support for clergy endorsements was low across the board. Trump's attack on the Johnson Amendment has found eager supporters, though, including Jerry Falwell Jr., another prominent evangelical who supported his campaign, his presidential campaign. On the other hand, many religious groups, like their non-political status, just find the way it is. After Thursday, for instance, the Baptist Joint Committee for Religious Liberty, wow, get my tongue to work here, Religious Liberty, quickly put out a statement saying that repealing the Johnson Amendment would not further religious liberty that they stand for. Politicizing churches does them no favors. The promised repeal is an attack on the integrity of both our charitable organizations and campaign finance system. Inviting churches to intervene in campaigns with tax deductible offerings would fundamentally change our houses of worship. It would usher our partisan differences into pews and harm the church's ability to provide refuge to organizations. Refuge? Really? Doesn't seem to bother the Jeremiah Wrights of the world. Doesn't seem to bother them. Doesn't seem to bother every time you see a Democrat during election season go to pander to black Americans in their churches, no less. And you see it out there in the open, but the IRS doesn't enforce it. Oh, wonder why? I wonder why. This should be done to level the playing field. Absolutely done to level the playing field. And it's one of those things, once again, that President Trump said during the campaign that he was going to do. So these people can't seem to figure it out. This guy's actually trying to do what he said he was going to do. And it is a affront to our religious liberties, because you couldn't have pastors speaking out on the pulpit about having to buy contraceptive or birth control or this or that and being forced to do it. Being forced to do it as a church, being forced to do it as an employer. Couldn't do it. Why? Because they're afraid of losing their 501c3 status and their tax exemption. That's why me and John are always screaming, hey, which master are you going to serve? The people that you should be saving or the government? So it's the bottom of the hour. Have to pay some bills. This is Joe Hakos here at the Conservative Syndicate. Got to pay the bills. We'll be right back after we do so. Stick with us, folks.
Red State Talk Radio, WRS Cleveland.
Hey, I'll make you a deal. Give me 60 seconds and I'll give you directions to the Fountain of Youth. Okay, I'm joking. Well, kind of joking. No fountains, but youth, I got Nature's Youth and their premier anti-aging product, Nature's Youth RSF. With your sensible diet and exercise plan, Nature's Youth RSF can help you look and feel better. RSF is an all-natural amino acid supplement that supports your body to naturally increase HGH levels without any synthetic hormones. And elevated HGH levels can contribute to increased energy, improved libido, reduced body fat, and improved exercise capacity. Let's be honest, who doesn't want to look and feel younger? Visit the newly designed website at naturesyouth.com or call 800-333-6923. That's 800-333-6923 and like them on Facebook and you'll be included in contests and exclusive offers. What a deal. Oh, speaking of deals, my time's about up. 800-333-6923 or naturesyouth.com. Who needs a fountain anyway? Call today.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
When I had a heart attack at 42, I was not sure what the future held. But a year later, the doctors could find nothing wrong with me and took me off all my medication. What did I do? I took a herbal mixture of garlic, cayenne, and a few other herbs mixed in liquid form. I now call this Extendovite. I would have never believed that a few simple herbs could actually change my life like they did. Now it's your turn to see what the powers of garlic and cayenne can do for you. For only $69.95 plus shipping and handling for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid, you too can begin on your path to better health. For more information, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call. But I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free. Just for calling 877-663-3830. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-663-3830. That's 877-663-3830.
Hey, I don't back anybody unless I believe in them. And I do believe in the value of investing in gold and silver. And the company I trust to buy my gold and silver from is Swiss America. I've been working with them for nearly a decade. I trust them, and you can too. Swiss America will help you sort through and find the best options available when you're considering investing in gold and silver coins. Listen, for over 30 years, Swiss America has been offering Americans what they want in their investments: safety, liquidity, quality, reliability, and a potential profit. Gold and silver have a place in every investor's portfolio. So, why not let Swiss America help you diversify your investment portfolio now? Call now for free information. 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-380-2906. That's 800-380-2906. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-380-2906.
And now back to the Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives.
That's right. Joe Hakos here at the Conservative Syndicate. Glad you're sticking with us. Do appreciate it. Love you all. We need to have you out here. Can't do it without you. All right. So we were talking about the Johnson Amendment and Trump's... President Trump's, he wants to go ahead and get rid of it. And we should. We should level this playing field off, and we should do it the right way. And let's hope he does do it the right way through an act of Congress. Change the tax code. It needs to be changed in so many different ways. And unlike Barack Obama, don't do it through executive order. Get it done the right way. It just works better that way. It just works way better that way. It's more lasting, and we just need to have it done. Okay, so that said, I got an article here from Faye Higbee. Ex-Obama lackey advocates a coup against Trump, and. It reads, Rosa Brooks, a former Obama administration official, wrote an article for Foreign Policy magazine entitled 3 Days to Get Rid of President Trump Before 2020 and advocated a coup. And it goes on to say, of course, since she's a liberal, she can't count. She actually outlines 4 ways. But in the article, she asked for the military help in overthrowing the government. That would be treason, sedition, in every sense of the word. Yeah, sure. Brooks is part of the New American Foundation, which is a quote unquote think tank, funded by the German Nazi sympathizer George Soros. Let's call him for what he is. The Hungarian German Nazi sympathizer who sold his family members for cigarettes. Sent them off to the concentration camp for cigarettes. George Soros, that guy. Anyway, from the article, they elected him out of office after his 4-year term, but such a catastrophic first week, 4 years seems like a very long wait, she wrote. Impeachment, however she lamented, impeachment takes months. Takes time, if not longer, even with an enthusiastic Congress. And when you have a lunatic controlling the nuclear codes, even a few months seems like a perilously long time to wait. Utilizing the claim of mental instability to invoke the 25th Amendment of the Constitution, which sets the path for the Commander-in-Chief's removal if the President is unable to discharge his powers and duties of his office. And last but not least, a military coup, she writes. The fourth possibility is the one that until recently I would have said is unthinkable in the United States of America, a military coup, or at least a refusal by military leaders to obey certain orders. The language that is going on with the left, shall I say, is dangerous. At a minimum, dangerous. Sarah Silverman, what is this brilliant mind just yesterday tweeted? Wake up and join the resistance. Once the military is with us, fascists get overthrown. Mad King and his handlers go bye-bye. Heart, 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 heart. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Dangerous. And it's getting to the point, and I'll get to my ultimate point. Get to my ultimate point with that. I have a little clip, and we're talking about the media and this language. I have a little clip. This is from the Sunday show with Kellyanne Conway and Chris Wallace. And I'm going to see if I can't get through this. This is about the press and the President Trump administration and how they're going about things. And we'll see how far I get into this before I have to stop it. So, again, Kellyanne Conway, Chris Wallace, and the Trump administration and the press.
Politicians complain about bad press. I think you have some legitimate complaints about bad press. The First Amendment protects the press. We're in the Constitution, and it is offensive, quite frankly, to have folks, any politician, but folks who have been in the White House for a week lecture us about what we should and shouldn't do and that we should keep our mouths shut.
Well, no, I think what my colleague Steve Bannon is saying is, why don't you talk less and go listen to America more? Because let me tell you something. I know what he meant. I work with him every day. The media failed to learn America. Donald Trump proved something that the media failed to do, which is he understood America. The idea that we were never taken seriously in places like Pennsylvania
to say we have zero intelligence, zero integrity, and that we should keep our mouths shut is offensive.
I think it's called listen more. And let me just say something that else happens. It's the way that everything is cherry-picked. Biased media coverage is easy to detect. It frankly helped us because this was such an elite rejection election where the establishment, the elites, were all rejected by the voters. It turns out there are a heck of a lot more of them than us, Chris, and that's how we won. Why is that relevant? It's relevant because people, who's cleaning house? Which one is going to be the first network to get rid of these people who said things that just weren't true? Talk about fake news, talk about alternative facts. What happened last week? I went on 3 network Sunday shows. I spoke for 35 minutes on 3 network Sunday shows. You know what got picked? The fact that I said alternative facts, not the fact that I ripped a new one to some of those hosts for never covering the facts that matter to America's women. The 16.1 million women in poverty as we sit here. The 12.4 million women who have no health insurance. Everybody should feel outraged. The billions of dollars we have spent as a nation on public education, only to have millions of kids trapped in schools that fail them and never really promote and protect their intelligence and prepare them for the world as they all deserve. They shouldn't be restricted by the zip code where they live. They should be lifted up. This has all been a colossal failure, and nobody wants to talk about that. They want to talk about, it's always zing, it's always playing gotcha. There's no question that when you look at the contributions made by the media, money contributions, they went to Hillary Clinton. We have all the headlines. People should feel embarrassed. Not one network person has been let go. Not one silly political analyst and pundit who talked smack all day long about Donald Trump has been let go. They're on panels every Sunday. They're on cable news every day. Who's the first editorial writer? Where's the first blogger that will be let go that embarrassed his or her outlets? We know all their names. I'm too polite to call them out by name, but they know who they are, and they're all wondering why I'd be the first to go. The election was 3 months ago. None of them have been let go. If this were a real business, if the mainstream media were a thriving private sector business that actually turned a profit, which is not true of many of our newspapers, Chris, 20% of the people would be gone. They embarrassed. They failed to protect their shareholders and their board members and their colleagues. And yet we deal with them every single day. We turn the other cheek. If you're part of Team Trump, you walk around with these gaping, seeping wounds every single day. And that's fine. I believe in a full and fair press. I'm here every Sunday morning. I haven't slept in months. I believe in a full and fair press. But with a free press comes responsibility. And the responsibility is to get the story right. Biased coverage, easy to detect. Incomplete coverage, impossible to detect. That's my major grievance, is that the media they're not giving us complete coverage. President Trump has signed all these executive orders this week. He's met with these heads of state. He's done so many things to stimulate the economy, to boost wages, to create jobs. Where's the coverage?
Yeah, where is the coverage? Where is the coverage? And Chris Wallace is so offended by Steve Bannon telling him to shut up and listen. He's offended. He's offended because not all the media did such a poor job. Well, let me point out. I'm going to have to take a break, but I'm going to point out something. One of the things that happens when the media does the job they've been doing and how they misrepresent things and what happens and how dangerous it is. Just how dangerous it is. All right? I'm gonna get to that when we do have to take this break. So I'm going to have to take the short break. We'll get back to this. And I'll go in and I'll point this out and see if you don't notice something here. And this is very, very important what I'm going to do when we come back from the break. All right. So again, Joe Hakos here on the Conservative Syndicate. Stick around with us, folks. We'll be right back.
There is an old saying, children should be seen but not heard. At no time is this more apparent than when politicians speak. The ConservativeSyndicate.net, the adults in the room. Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did. History affirms a vibrant civil society thrives on freedom of conscience, religion, and choice. Any society absent these qualities stifles individual responsibility and accountability, thus enslaving its people by denying them the potential for goodness, creativity, and altruism. To that extent, oppression, coercion, and totalitarianism are multiplied exponentially. To counter such outcomes, the American Freedom Alliance was formed. The AFA is a nonpartisan, non-aligned movement which promotes, defends, and upholds Western values and ideals. The Alliance strives to build an international coalition of citizens of the West who together promote and protect moral values, democracy, and freedom. To find out more and become part of this valuable asset in the preservation of freedom and all its rewards, contact us at AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. That's AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. Let freedom ring. And now back to the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives.
Oh, yeah. Hey, thanks, folks. Thanks for sticking with us. Joe Hakos here, the Conservative Syndicate. Remember to go to the ConservativeSyndicate.net where you can get all our archives and check us out and see what we're doing and having fun, okay? So let's keep that in mind. All right, so before that last break, and this is our final segment, so we're trying to wrap this thing up and get this thing kind of tied together somewhat. I know it seems somewhat disjointed, but I'm trying to tie this together for you. Okay, so we had Kellyanne Conway with Chris Wallace, and Chris Wallace on Chris Wallace's show on Sunday, and Chris Wallace is so offended because Steve Bannon said, you have no integrity, blah, blah, blah. You should sit down and shut up. Maybe you'll learn something. And then Kellyanne truly just pointed out, look, the fake news is coming from the media, not from the Trump administration, and not from sites like Breitbart. It's coming from CNN, the CNNs of the world, Fox Newses of the world. Yes, I include Fox News in this, the MSNBC crowd and everything else. And one example is the temporary halt on visas from seven, mind you, Middle Eastern countries, Africa, blah, blah, Libya, but with predominant Muslim populations. Okay? What does the media call it? And I've even heard it on that stalwart of conservatism on Fox News, called it a Muslim ban. It's not a Muslim ban. It doesn't ban Muslims. Indonesia, the country with the largest Muslim population in the world, is not on this list to halt refugees and visas from these seven particular nations that have issues right now when it comes to, one, terrorism. And the reason why I bring it up, and I say it's so dangerous. So, as we said early in the show, National Security Advisor to President Trump, Michael Flynn, came out, stopped the Sean Spicer press briefing, and read his statement that basically said, this is not the Obama administration. This is the Donald Trump administration. We take these things serious, what you did with your missile test, and we're putting you on notice. Cryptic, yes. Doesn't sounds ominous, though. Sounds like something's going to happen. Sounds like somebody's going to pay a price for their indiscretions not to follow the agreement signed with Barack Obama and the Iran nuclear, otherwise known as the Iran nuclear deal, and UN resolutions, period. So what happens? Oh, we get a statement from the Iranian government, the Iranian regime. And this is how it reads here. Iran is not going to sit idly by while the Trump administration demonizes Iranian citizens and violates international protocols. It goes on to say, according to a foreign ministry statement, Iran would stop U.S. citizens from entering the country in retaliation. Here you go. In retaliation to Washington's visa ban against Iran and 6 other Muslim-controlled countries. Iran is also seeking to replace the dollar with a new common foreign currency in all financial and foreign exchange reports. The policy will come into force in March, as the U.S. doesn't have a significant role in Iranian trade and could be replaced with currencies of key partners like the European Union, China. Iran already has agreements with Russia, Turkey, Azerbaijan, and Iraq to use national currencies in their local trade. The U.S. ban, however, makes it virtually impossible for relatives and friends of an estimated 1 million Iranian Americans to visit the United States. The Trump administration is also ratcheting up the rhetoric over Iran's recent missile tests, which is against the policies, Iran. I want you to notice, though, the terminology used. The U.S. ban. The U.S. ban. It is not a ban. It is not a ban. Here, from the administration, Kellyanne Conway, once again.
And let me make very clear, these 7 countries, what about the 46 majority Muslim countries that are not included? Right there, it totally undercuts this nonsense that this is a Muslim ban. This is a ban on prospective travel from countries trying to prevent terrorists in this country, from countries that have a recent history of training and exporting and harboring terrorists.
All right. From the administration, it's not a ban, but it's all reporters' ban. And our enemies are emboldened to use the language of the press as they report it, thus making it very dangerous for all Americans because, let's face it, Donald J. Trump is the president of all Americans. Get it? So the press wants to go ahead and name it one thing when it's another thing, when it's actually a whole different thing. This is why it's dangerous. This is why the media is dangerous right now. What they do is dangerous. What the game they're playing right now puts Americans in danger. They don't seem to care, though. Puts all Americans in danger. And yes, they will blame Donald Trump and his policies for it. Well, of course they will. This has got to stop. It's got to stop. It's a pause. Travel pause. 7 nations. Yes, the Iranians are upset because, well, yeah, they just happen to be one of it, but they're the biggest state sponsor of terrorism in the world. And the Barack Obama administration turned a blind eye to it. President Trump and his administration aren't going to turn a blind eye to it. We'll know more tomorrow as the reports of sanctions against the Iranians are on the wires now. So we'll have to see. The media needs to stop being dishonest. They really do. You know, the Trump administration is also ratcheting up the rhetoric over Iran's recent missile tests, accusing it of being highly provocative and threaten non-specific actions, which might include military force. National Security Advisor Michael Flynn says the Trump administration has put Iran on notice, claiming the tests threaten stability across the region and places Americans' lives. Other U.S. officials say a lot of options under consideration. The fact that the Iranian regime uses the same language that our First Amendment protected media uses is distressing, to say the least. I don't see them taking the advice of Mr. Bannon. Sit back, take a look, be introspective. Did you get anything right in this last election? The American people soundly rejected the media and their chosen candidate. They were openly advocating for Hillary Clinton the entire election season. We had Republicans doing the same thing. It's time to put a stop to this nonsense. It's time to put a stop to this nonsense. It's time to get with the program and think of America first. Why is that such a difficult thing to understand? Why? I don't get it. I just don't get it. It seems like nothing. We could give the left in this country everything they want and they still wouldn't be satisfied. They'll never, ever be satisfied. They always try to tear down this nation. Until this nation collapses, it's the only way to be satisfied. And even then, they won't be satisfied. So, understand, language is important. So it's not a ban. When you see them, correct them. Get on the stick. Get your legislatures out there and tell them to get on the stick and stop the Stalin tactics. in D.C. Joe Hakos here, the Conservative Syndicate. We got to wrap this thing up. It's time to go, folks. Do love you. Can't do without you. We'll see you here the next time. Appreciate you being there. Thanks, and God bless.
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Conservative Syndicate, the nationally acclaimed, globally syndicated, politically incorrect talk show that seeks to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state. We want to make you aware you can find and access all our show archives at our website, theconservativesyndicate.net, as well as our broadcast stations and times. That's theconservativesyndicate.net. We so appreciate you taking the time to tune in, and we so look forward to continuing to bring you the best in uncompromised talk radio available on the net today. And remember, folks, it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down in life, it only matters how many times you get up. I'm John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos, signing off until next time right here at the Conservative Syndicate. God bless you, and may God continue to bless America.